Many managers walk into their 2026 draft room relying on a gut feeling. They look at the names on the screen, remember who scored well last season, and click draft. But that approach bleeds value. To optimize your roster, you have to treat your draft picks like capital. That starts with understanding ADP, or average draft position. ADP is the market's consensus. It tells you exactly where a player is coming off the board across thousands of leagues. You will face a constant trade-off, reaching to secure a player you love versus letting the draft value fall to you. Reaching means overpaying, and overpaying leaves holes in the rest of your lineup. This diagram illustrates the draft capital lens. We treat every pick as finite currency. Notice how hype and name value enter the top of the funnel, but they get filtered out. The only things that exit at the bottom are projected ROI and ADP alignment. Whether you are a value hunter waiting patiently for players to drop, or a busy planner trying to maximize a strict auction budget, treating your picks as a strict currency protects your roster. The winning edge requires you to look past familiar names. You have to know exactly when a player's cost matches their projected output. Before we look at specific players, you need to know exactly how your league scores points. Half-PPR, which awards 0.5 points per reception, is the modern industry standard. It creates a highly volatile middle ground between standard and full PPR formats. In full PPR leagues, pass-catching specialists get a massive boost, but in half-PPR, high-volume bell cow running backs retain higher value because their guaranteed touches provide a much safer weekly floor. At the same time, pass-catching backs still hold a distinct advantage. That reception floor, getting 2 or 3 guaranteed catches a game, insulates them from bad rushing outings. Take a look at this scale balancing a touchdown-dependent goal line back against a target-dependent slot receiver. In standard scoring, the heavy runner wins out. But because of that 0.5 points per catch, the scale tips slightly toward the receiver in half-PPR. Half-PPR rewards versatility. Players who contribute heavily in both the run and pass game are the ultimate draft anchors for your roster. Jamar Chase is the 1.01 overall pick in 2026. Wide receivers remain the safest early bet because they avoid the extreme injury rates of the running back position. If you don't land Chase, you are looking at the Tier 1 running backs. There are only 2 players at the position worth top 5 capital this year. Jahmyr Gibbs is the first. The Detroit offense funnels highly efficient touches to him, giving him elite value in both the rushing and receiving game. Bijan Robinson is the other. As the clear centerpiece of the Falcons' attack, his guaranteed volume places him in a tier of his own alongside Gibbs. If Chase, Gibbs, and Robinson are off the board, you pivot back to the elite wide receiver tier. A high target option like Puka Nacua offers incredible volume and keeps your early capital secure. The temptation in these early rounds will be to grab an elite quarterback like Josh Allen. He is usually the first quarterback drafted. But you should avoid taking Allen at his current ADP. Taking a onesie position, a position where you only start one player, costs you crucial running back and wide receiver volume early on. Your goal in the first 3 rounds is to build a high-scoring floor with players who start every week.
That foundation is what allows your team to survive the attrition of an NFL season. To ensure you get those foundational players at the right price, you need to stop using a standard linear ranking list and switch to a tiered board. This diagram shows a tiered player board, where names are grouped into blocks based on projected output. This red line shows the drop-off cliff, the point where the talent level between Tier 2 and Tier 3 running backs falls drastically. When you look at the board and see 5 players remaining in a specific tier, you can confidently play the waiting game. You know that at least one of them will fall to your next pick. But when the second-to-last player in a tier gets drafted, you hit the panic button. That is your cue to draft the last remaining guy, or completely pivot your positional strategy before you fall off the cliff. Using a tiered board means losing a specific player doesn't disrupt your plan because you are drafting for the collective point production of that entire block rather than just one name. This system turns the draft from a frantic scavenger hunt into a calculated resource management exercise. Once you hit the middle rounds, rounds 4 through 9, you enter the value plateau for quarterbacks. This is why picking a passer early is a negative ROI move. Look at this bar chart comparing the point-per-game difference between the top 5 quarterbacks and the top 12. The drop-off is minimal.
The scoring gap between a round 3 quarterback and a round 9 quarterback is incredibly narrow. Taking a quarterback early carries a massive opportunity cost. If you use a second-round pick on a passer, you lose out on a workhorse running back, a position that thins out much faster. The tight end position follows a similar rule. If you miss out on Brock Bowers or the rest of the elite top 5 in the early rounds, the drop-off is steep. The math says you should wait and stream the position late. Instead of reaching for single starter positions in the middle rounds, use this stretch to draft high-ceiling wide receivers and secure your handcuffs, the direct backups to your star running backs. Capitalizing on the best available value in these rounds provides the depth needed to survive injuries and outlast rosters with thinner benches. As the draft moves into double-digit rounds, many managers fall into the Super Bowl hangover trap. They draft aging veterans based entirely on last year's championship narrative. This quadrant chart maps public popularity on the x-axis against ADP value on the y-axis. The bottom right quadrant is the fame versus value trap: high popularity, low actual return. Instead of drafting a declining superstar with a recognizable name, use these late rounds to invest in breakout rookies. A rookie with a clear path to touches provides massive upside at a fraction of cost. Your roster doesn't get bonus points for name recognition. You are strictly rewarded for on-field production. To walk away with a winning roster, stick to this 3-step plan. First, draft using a tiered cheat sheet. Second, stay disciplined and let the ADP value fall to you. And third, never draft a kicker or a defense before the final 2 rounds. You can grab a free Printable 2026 half-PPR cheat sheet and our complete tiered draft kit over at sportsbrackets.net. Stop drafting by feel, start drafting by math, and go win your league.